Adonis, just to get started with you here, just how are you feeling after winning that state championship? What's kind of going on in your head right now?
Just trying to settle back in after the excitement of winning, accomplishing my goal.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. And what's the week been like for you now that your story is starting to circulate around the country? You know, it's been featured on ESPN, it's been featured on SportsCenter's TikTok, you've been all over local media. Just what's kind of been the week been like for you?
It's been pretty hectic, just doing interviews and dealing with school.
Oh, yeah, I definitely understand that. And looking at your performance, just you're going in for the championship, you're in that final match. Just what was kind of going on in your head as you were preparing for that final match there?
It felt sort of surreal seeing as how I was this close to accomplishing my dream, and that I was in the place that I've been seeing from afar in the stands for a while.
I understand that. And what was that feeling like when that final whistle blew and you were declared champion? Obviously, we saw your coaches on the sideline and their reaction, but what was kind of going on in your head, in your mind when you're on the floor there?
Just like this ecstatic feeling that I had won, and this rush of emotion that I started to even hear the crowd behind me until after I watched the video.
Just when did you decide that your goal was going to be a state champion in wrestling? When did that kind of come into your mind? Like, that's what I'm going to do before I leave here.
I sort of said I was going to be a state champion about fifth grade, but then I sort of became serious about it in eighth grade.
Definitely. And talk to me a little bit about your first 2 years wrestling at Landstown. You never quite broke that barrier at regionals. You had gotten there, but never really broke through that. Just what changed in your approach heading into your junior year?
After my sophomore year, I decided to put a lot more work in than I was, lift more weights and conditioning and studying more video.
And then with that added studying and, exercise working for it, how did you take the news that there wouldn't be a regionals during your junior year due to the COVID pandemic? Just what was kind of your reaction to that news?
Our regionals ended up getting canceled the day before after a member on our team got COVID and we had to quarantine. So it's a bit disappointing at first, but then I realized I had one more year to make a run. So I decided to just dismiss my junior year and just head into my senior year.
It's a good attitude to have, definitely. And you mentioned that you kind of dismissed your junior year. You're like, all right, time to look ahead. Just what was kind of going on in your mind in the off season heading into your first season as you knew that this was the last chance to win that state title that you had dreamed of?
Really just making sure I was doing my best throughout the entire season and making sure that I was in top form for every competition we had.
And looking at the regional final, you get to that finals match, you're going for a championship, and you end up losing before that state tournament. Just how did that last match before your state championship run help you going into the state championship and then obviously pulling it through and winning?
It sort of pushed me forward. After that loss, I sort of bounced back because coaches and family told me that the regionals didn't really matter. Just making the states mattered, and that the state tournament was when it really counted. So after that, I just practiced even harder. Had some of my best practices that year and that week, and just went into the championship confident.
That's awesome. That's amazing. That's great. And how have things changed for you both in wrestling and personally since you won that championship? What have things kind of been like for you?
It's been pretty hectic. Gotten a lot more publicity and interviews and DMs.
And what about for your wrestling career? I know that the goal is for you to go to the next level, wrestling college. Has this attention, this additional media coverage kind of brought recruiters out and been like, hey, This kid's story is great, but he can wrestle a little bit too.
Yes, a little bit.
And what do you think your future looks like going forward from here?
I think the future looks pretty bright. I mean, I've already accomplished one goal, so it's not that impossible to accomplish another goal.
That's too true. I definitely agree with you there. And what do you hope people take away from your journey and obviously your state title victory?
That anything is possible if you just work towards it and persevere.
And last kind of question for you, another bigger kind of overview question here. Just what advice would you give people in a similar situation that you're in who are athletes but have obstacles to overcome like you did due to their disabilities?
I would say just always look for a way to improve, even if it's just a little bit. Just keep looking for ways to improve, and you'll see the results eventually.
That's awesome. Well, in terms of questions, Adonis, that's all I have for you today. So I just want to say thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to talk to me, and congratulations on everything and all the attention. It's well deserved, and good luck with everything in the future.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Not a problem.